There is a spot in every human heart. It's known as the SA node, this microscopic cluster of cells that emits this tiny spark. It coordinates all the activity of your heart. When this spot is misfiring, you are AFib. DFib means you're dead. I'm not a cardiologist, but a different kind of heart specialist. I specialize in finding the essence point in organizations, and for 20 years I've seen whole, huge systems turn around, ignited by this simple, electrifying spark. I'm here today to talk to you about one particular essence point that seems to be troubling all of us, the essence of America itself. My topic, cultural climate change and the hidden politics of the heart. My question, how might we heal America's broken heart? You see, back in 2005 at 30,000 feet, I had a revelation. I was crisscrossing the country on this political project, and for years I'd been hearing how divided we are as a nation. So when this red state rancher in his white cowboy hat comes to sit next to me, and he asks, "So, where are you from?" I say reluctantly, "Boulder." But for the next 2 hours, we spend our time bonding about our lives and families, how he's worried for his son, that he won't have the same kind of opportunities the rancher himself had when he was young. And that makes me think of this young Latino guy I just interviewed from Bed-Stuy. He just wants to find a way to pay for college, get a girlfriend, and a good job. And then I think about my own daughter, at home, all tucked up in her brand new toddler bed. What I wouldn't do for her to have a good life too. We all had so much more in common than our differences. You see, for generations, the promise of America has been this better life, this better future for ourselves and for our children. But what happens when that future just feels broken? It breaks our hearts. We know we don't trust our leaders to fix it. Doubt a hero is coming to save us. So we intuitively know the answer has to be us. But we wonder if there even is an us. Roger Stone, political operative since Nixon, is fond of saying, politics are not about uniting people, it's about dividing people and getting to your 51%. No wonder why we want to build a wall around our hearts. Standing in the darkness of this moment, you and I together in the space of, I don't know what to do. What if we allowed our hearts to be broken open? Because in my experience, that's exactly when something new comes through. If our disease is division, then belonging is the cure. But how do we create belonging in such a divided world? The answer is our hearts. You see, in America, I think we get belonging all wrong. We think it's about special groups and special people, tribes of teens and bowling leagues, places where we all agree. But is a community based on agreement really what we need? I believe belonging is about something else entirely. We all need to be part of something bigger than ourselves. Our hearts, they know we need each other. You see, belonging is part of the fourth and often forgotten stress response. Instead of fight, flight, or freeze, we tend and befriend. Connection unleashes oxytocin, nature's love hormone. It bonds mothers and babies, lovers after sex, but you can get a hit of oxytocin just by making eye contact with a stranger or a friend. It draws us closer together, especially during disasters. Think about Houston, 9/11, our own Boulder floods. Human beings, we are the most altruistic animals on the planet. The better part is belonging doesn't have to mean agreement. In fact, the opposite. The social neurobiology of belonging says that we feel safest when we can disagree and still stay in. Because in our evolutionary history, out was the most dangerous place to be. This is where I have to say I'm sorry to my aunt from New Jersey. During this last election, I bludgeoned you with my Trump and Clinton facts. I take it back. I once heard a former KKK member say, "I never changed a single belief while ducking a beer bottle aimed at my head. The people who changed me sat down and became my friends." I want to share one more story to kind of bed it down and jumpstart our hearts. In 2012, my daughter's school was in total leadership meltdown. At one particularly heated meeting, I remember someone screaming, "When the house is burning down, you yell fire!" But we all know what happens when you yell fire in a crowded room. At my first board meeting, everyone pointing fingers and spreading blame, I stood up and said, "Are we in this thing together? Because it seems to me it's going to take all of us." We started turnaround efforts with community forums, parents, teachers, students, administrators, all coming together and discussing not just our issues, but our hopes and dreams and visions for the future. We discovered these core tensions that were built right into our mission. Tensegrity is the word for opposing forces that keep us strong and upright and resilient. Into those tensions, we found transformation opportunities, our whole community, hearts firing together like that microscopic cluster of cells, the SA node in our hearts. Today, our school is thriving. So now what? What do? We can't just click a button and install our better world. America v 3.0. But we each have the power to bring us one step closer or one step farther away. This revolution starts with our hearts. Our brave hearts, willing to stand in the discomfort of disagreement, feel that heat, and instead of ussing and themming, tending and befriending. Our curious hearts, courageous, compassionate, leaning in, diving into those tensions and asking good questions. Why is that important to you? What's your story? Finding that tensegrity, those opposing forces that keep us strong, upright, and resilient. Our tender, broken, open hearts, pulsing with this promise, a better life, a better future for ourselves and for our children. Author Charles Eisenstein asks, what is that more beautiful world your heart knows is possible? Finally, just one last thing. We have a bad habit in this country of leaving when we don't like things immigrants and pioneers, explorers, Confederates and Californians. And now we're talking about Mars. Has anyone seen The Martian? How about we stay right here and work it out? Because isn't that what community at its heart is all about? Thank you.